Love it or leave it.
Now it's time for the Rant Wheel. All right. Here's how it works. We spin the wheel wherever it lands. We rant about the topic. This week on the wheel, we have rich donors begging Youngkin to run. We have how Bad Bunny is dating Kendall Jenner.
Oh.
We have when Lovett doesn't get his rant to me before the show. We have blank will determine the outcome of the election. We got a little preview of that one. I'm excited about that. We have e-scooters are scary. We have Kyle XY's lack of Emmy nominations. We have people still open-mouthed coughing on airplanes, and we have being corrected about something trivial in the middle of telling a story. Let's spin the wheel. It has landed on why Lovett doesn't get his rant in time. You know what? Let's just, what do you want to hear about? Wait, what? 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 What was that one? I can't understand any of you. You're so inarticulate. I'll tell you this about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Is that still going on? You know, honestly, you know what's exciting about that? It's now dropped below whatever the attention threshold it needed to reach me. Like, it surged up and, like, managed to get football in front of my eyeballs, and what was happening in the stands of games, and high fives and chicken tenders and seemingly ranch, and it all was popping through. And honestly, now it's fucking gone. It's off my feed. The algorithm has said you're done, and I say thank you to the algorithm. The algorithm knows what I need, all right? Sometimes it knows I need to see some hot goss about a Jonas brother or something. Sometimes it knows for reasons I don't understand and don't need to understand that what I need to see are tours of expensive motorhomes. And here's the thing that doesn't make sense. I've never been inside of a motorhome. I will never be inside of a motorhome. I don't need to get anywhere that slowly. And there's nowhere I want to be badly enough that would be my means of conveyance. I consider anything below a Four Seasons to be camping out. Anyway, and yet, somehow, the algorithm knows that I find inherently soothing finding out where the TV comes out and how the thing unfolds and how they can hide a Mini Cooper in the trunk of one of these guys. And for whatever reason, late at night, in the part of night where we all are just in communion with our phones, that 30 to 45 minutes, which is how long it really is, if we're being honest, where we just give ourselves over to a tech conglomerate to say, this won't help me fall asleep, this won't make tomorrow better, but it will make me forget today. And that is what I have to say about Travis and Taylor. Let's spin it again. Blank will determine the outcome of the election, Jen.
Oh, wait, how long do I go for?
As long as
just
it
like
feels,
tell me when to stop. Do I stretch?
You can stand, you can stretch, you can do whatever you want. The floor is yours.
All right, I'm gonna stand. Okay. I'm gonna stretch a little. Okay. So my blank will determine the outcome of the election. Okay, so let me just start here. National polls do not matter. Just ignore them. They don't matter. If you feel like you need to pay attention to national polls, remember a few things. Barack Obama was in the low 40s around this time before he won the election and before he won for re-election. Joe Biden, around the low 40s. You know what Barack Obama's support was among African Americans in about September or October, a year plus before the election? 58%, okay? So just digest that. National polls don't matter. The second thing is 12 months out from the election, that doesn't matter either. So what you need to pay attention to, but please do watch my show at noon on Sundays and 8 p.m. on Mondays, where we will talk about politics. But ignore that, none of that matters. anyone who's out there predicting on television or in a newspaper, and you saw a lot of this from the speech last night, what the president did or didn't say is going to determine the outcome of the election, that is complete and utter bullshit. It has nothing to do with what's going to happen next November, because you know why? Lots of things will happen. June before 2022, guess what happened? Abortion, Roe. Guess what determined the outcome of the election? That, in part, right? September before 2008, you know what happened? Financial crisis. That is what determined the outcome of the election. So the biggest thing you can do now, ignore national polls, except when I'm talking about them on my show, and then obviously pay attention to them, and I'll tell you they don't matter. Ignore them, get registered, get your neighbors registered, get organized, get excited. They matter less than, I'm going to incorporate another one, whether or not Bad Bunny and Kendall Jenner are together next November. And I hope they are, because I kind of like them and I'm not going to rant about them. That's it.
Thank you, Jen. Something is happening in the culture where odd couple pairings are just sort of all over the news. It's sort of.
Do you not like Bad Bunny and Kendall Jenner? Should we
I honestly couldn't begin to have an opinion. Truly.
I kind of like them together. I don't know why. I feel like I have a good vibe about it.
Well, wait. Wasn't there a news cycle involving Timothée? And is that a different?
Kylie Jenner, it's happening. Sorry, this is my rant, guys. So
let's
give me some room
Okay,
for
sorry.
This.
No, and I want you to have the space you need.
It might be next. Who knows? Oh, it is. Okay. I apologize. I have some close people to me in the audience, and they've heard me talk about this a lot. I have a lot of thoughts. So first of all, I am Latina. My parents are Mexican immigrants. And I love Bad Bunny. And I've loved Bad Bunny since before he had an album. I watched him at James Madison University at the basketball arena.
I love this.
Yeah, I'm a diehard fan. I've also seen him many times since. But anyway, he had a girlfriend for a really long time named Gabriela. And she's Latina. And they broke up. And out of nowhere, he starts dating Kendall Jenner. Now, I was okay with this. It was fine. Until he told a magazine that he didn't care what Juliana Dominguez from Mississippi thinks about his relationship with Kendall Jenner. And to me, that was anti-Latino.
Okay.
Why did you have to pick Juliana Dominguez of a name? Why not just say like Jane Doe? You know, he said, I don't care what Juliana Dominguez thinks about my relationship. Like, okay, you're picking a Latina name. I don't know. This has been hard for me, clearly.
I feel like you've convinced me.
It's
Forget
been
them.
difficult.
Break them up.
It's anti-Latino. Also, he doesn't really speak English, and he's hosting SNL tomorrow, and that's going to be very interesting. I don't know if we have any SNL fans here, but I purposely chose a rant that was not political because I've been inundated with House Republicans for the last 4 weeks.
Thank you for doing that. That's
That is why
great.
I wanted something that was pop culture.
They should break up.
Thank you. Thank you. And then Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. It's real. What is that? Thank you.
What is it?
I
Timothy
think
Chalamet, Jen?
I know who he is, but I don't.
Kylie Jenner?
Oh, and Kylie. Oh, I didn't know. I wasn't.
they were
tracking
spotted
this.
they were at a concert.
They were at Beyonce. They were Renaissance tour. Sorry guys, I've got a whole other side to me, clearly.
Whenever I see there was the image of Timothy or Timothée, depending on the custom, was at the concert with that person. I'm sorry, but making out. What it reminded me of, actually, there was a moment where what's his name with the red hair, the schlubby guy plays, Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran and I believe it was Adele performed together. Was it Beyonce? Yeah, yes, it was that. Whatever it was basically a male performer dressed in t-shirt, ratty clothes, guitar, unkempt, with a goddess. You know, just like a fully just full makeup, giant, beautiful gown side by side, and it was like. It reminded me of how in the 1990s all the movies were like, we beat sexism because now James Bond will also punch a woman. And when I saw Timotei with Kylie Jenner and Timmy is like smoking a cig, hair disgusting, obviously bone structure piercing out through any problem that any one of us look like that people will call a hospital. But he like manages to make it look good, and she's in full makeup.
Oh yeah.
Full makeup. She's gotta be in like full makeup, and he's just like a schlub. That sucks.
He's wearing a hoodie.
He's
To
wearing
me, it
a
was
hoodie.
the hoodie. I was like, who does that to Renaissance?
Let's spin it again. Rich donors begging Glenn Youngkin to run. Dave, take it away.
Just stop doing this. Just every 4 years they do this. It's often the same rich people. It's some guy who found out how to like short sell orphanages and made $3 billion. Looks at the Republican race, doesn't know any Republican voters personally, has like a place in Palm Beach and West Palm Beach, but has never met a person who works for him, has opinions, and just thinks, I'm bored with these guys who run against Donald Trump. What about this exciting guy I donated to? And it happens every time. Every time. We saw this with Bloomberg. We saw this with Tom Steyer, who spent $300 million to save the Democratic Party because, to give him credit, I mean, he cut out the middleman and said, I'm a rich donor. Why? I can solve my party's problem because people are bored with our candidates. But it's one, on a sincere level, it's very annoying to me when people just forget all of politics and think it's about just the presidential race. The reason that rich donors right now, they're meeting with Youngkin, is because he wants to win the state Senate. None of these guys can name like a Virginia state senator. They just are bored with Republican candidates, and they're convinced that somebody new and fresh would solve all the problems that all the other candidates who they thought were new and fresh 6 months ago have accrued by running against Donald Trump. Nothing would change if you go get Youngkin in the race. It's not a patch. I'm sure if I mention Youngkin, it'll get like a Jim Jordan level booze in the room again. But, again, theme of the night, excellent hair, fine politician, defeated Terry McAuliffe after Terry McAuliffe went door to door insulting parents across Virginia. In the worst period, like the politically worst period of the Biden presidency, like the 5 minutes before Roe was overturned. This is the record that they think can go in and defeat Nikki Haley, who's like won 2 elections. That's more than Youngkin has. Or Tim Scott, who, just think about how this feels for Tim Scott, because like 20 minutes ago, he was the guy that rich donors thought was going to save the Republican Party. Look at his eyes. Look at Tim Scott's eyes. After you told him that he was the charismatic Republican who was going to figure out all the problems, convince MAGA voters that they actually never liked Donald Trump in the first place. Look at him, sit down with him and tell him, sorry, I found someone else. He's taller than you. He plays basketball better than you, and
the hair thing.
Wears a vest.
And he wears better vests than, does Tim Scott wear vests? No. But they keep doing this. It's very superficial. It lowers my confidence in rich people who I'm counting on them to, keep the stock market going, buy up single-family homes so that my home raises in value. I'm counting on rich people to stop being this stupid and just suck it up. Donald Trump is going to be the nominee. Go invest it. You can buy a state legislature. They're nice. Be Art Pope. Do that. Stop pretending that you're going to buy some in the presidential race, and stop being so mean to the last 5 people that you did this to.
I think that's a great place to leave it.